So I very nearly didn't share this sales call on YouTube for, the reason in the title, but I think it's a really good call taking a prospect that is relatively cold and doesn't really have any knowledge on the solution, which in this case is high ticket closing, or the product, in this case, Club Closer, and how you're still able to take those prospects from being relatively cold into obviously buying said product and said solution. And you'll see this throughout the call, but it kind of predominantly comes down to that discovery and really understanding that person's pain points, what the issues are they're facing and whatever they're currently doing, and how your product and the solution you're providing can actually help solve those and give them a better time or a better result. So I want you to go ahead and watch the call and see how kind of that unfolds. And then obviously on the back end, we still get a decent amount of objections. And how I handle these objections isn't very kind of head on. I'm not being kind of confrontational or button heads with the guy. I'm just being suggestive. I'm just suggesting ideas. And I can do that because I have such belief in the product and I know it would help him. And I know that this is something that he should get into. And obviously, you'll see, well, I'll spoil it for you. He does close on the call, but I think the title spoiled that for you. But yeah, he obviously had so much success with us from working with us. After a few months, he felt like he knew enough to go and start his own coaching program teaching sales. Now, do I necessarily agree with that? I'll reserve my thoughts, but I think it's a testament to what we do at Club Closer and kind of shows that, the stuff we teach is getting people so confident in their own sales ability and they're having so much success that, some people think they can copy it. But focusing on that, focus on the call, see what you can learn from it. And if you do like it, drop a like, give me a comment, and yeah, of course, subscribe. And yeah, let's jump into it. What's up, Daniel?
Yeah, you good? Yeah, all good. Thanks, pal.
I'm good. Where you calling from, bro?
UK, just like outside of London.
Nice. Yeah, I'm in London right now.
Oh, nice. I was literally in London at the start of the week. Whereabouts are you based in London?
Wandsworth.
Wandsworth. Oh, yeah, I know the area.
Whereabouts? Just outside of it?
I was in Battersea just the last couple of days. I just had a few meetings and stuff, and then going back into like North London, like top North London on Friday, and then back up to Nottingham where I live.
Oh, you're home for you is Nottingham, is it?
Yeah, home's Nottingham, so I just came down for the week.
Work-wise, or just family?
Yeah, work-wise. Like I got a marketing agency. Well, say marketing agency, more like
I just saw that Kins Media.
Yeah, so it's kind of like agency / business consultancy in terms of like structuring like business structures, like employee structures, things like that.
Nice.
It's only like just starting out, so kind of getting the ball rolling with that.
How long have you had that going for?
I've been doing it on and off for a while with my own, like on the side of my own stuff, but I've kind of like only just started like last couple of months, like actually trying to get clients for it. Like before it was more like a load of my mates like have like stuff that they're doing, so I'd just be helping them out. And then I was just like, I might as well do this as an actual viable business.
Sick. Is that your full-time thing? Would you work?
I've got like a part-time retail job just to like, because I've had a clothing brand in the past and like have some kind of stuff off that. So yeah, I've got like a couple. I used to have like 4 part-time jobs, but yeah, and I just like retail at the weekends.
Fair enough. How's it? Because obviously my background's agency. I've got a marketing agency as my main business. So how's it all been going the last few months?
It's been mixed. I mean, the thing that pisses me off is it's just like there's so many fucking. Oh yeah, I've heard this before. Oh yeah, I've heard, like, let me guess, you're gonna run my ads and you're gonna charge me this. And I was just like, I was on the phone with so many people, but it's like they're like, oh, so what makes the difference? It's like, well, I'm not just gonna like it's mainly the business consultancy side, which is the bit that you'll benefit from. The ads are just like something you're gonna need because you're gonna be growing your business anyway. And then they'll be like, oh no, I don't want to grow my business. And I'm like, you don't want to grow your business? Like, I was genuinely on the phone to someone the other day and he was like, I'm working 10-hour days, I'm full. And he was like, I just can't, like, I was like, he's like, I can't take any more leads. I was like, I get that, but why aren't you employing another member of staff? And he was like, oh, because it's too much hassle to employ. I was like, you're sitting on money that you're struggling to get and you're not employing another member of staff. Like, can we just work this one out, please, mate? And he was like, oh, no, maybe at the end of the year. I was like, what is wrong with the UK? The UK's fucked. But
you just got to frame it in the right way. Like, yeah, like the thing is that when people hire new people, they think it's going to be a massive task. But well, no, if I can show you how to hire and delegate and make sure, the whole job of hiring someone is so you free up your time more. and obviously you can grow your business. If we can help you achieve X, Y, Z, whilst giving you more hours in the day, would that be something you'd be interested in?
Yeah,
More likely to be like, okay, yeah, that's something I might want to have a chat around.
I should build like a
I mean-
document about how to hire staff kind of things.
We'll go in for like an hour and just chat to them, tell them
Yeah.
what's what, how to do it, and then they're more likely to buy off you.
Do you find that like you can just say it to them straight up, or do you have to like produce some sort of document on that kind
You
of
just walk them through it. You just walk them through it. But at the end of the day, it's sales, right? It's just like, you know, what exactly, because every business owner on a surface level, they might be having the same problems, but the end solution of where they want to be, they're all different.
Yeah.
So that guy working 10 hours a day, he might need to get 2 of those hours back to do something else, whether that be spend more time with his family, you know, go to the gym, dedicate more time here. Maybe he wants to earn more, but physically can't because he's packed out, but he doesn't know how to scale it. It's a mindset issue. He's scared of like, you know, this person not being capable and fucking his whole business. You've got
Yeah.
to really figure out, and yeah, it all comes down to sales, figuring out what is the core reason you want to make this change or you're not making this change, and how can we flip that on its head and actually help you. It's like a big thing in sales is we say like you're selling the holiday, you're selling the vacation, you're not selling the plane ride. And the plane ride, you coming in and showing them X, Y, Z. You're selling them like this vacation is what you want. This extra 10K MRR is what you're going for.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. That makes sense. Does the so like have you ever like would you ever do that kind of shit on like the initial cold call, or would you just
No, so your cold call is really just selling the meeting.
yeah.
Get them on
'Cause that's
Zoom.
the-
It's like
The
getting
cold
people
call
to the
never sell on the cold call. It's always like get them to the next call.
Yeah. So like in terms of like what would you like on a call, because that's the thing, like on the cold call, it's like you got to say what you're doing, otherwise they're not going to get to the next meeting. But
Yeah, hi Daniel, this is a cold call, but if you have 30 seconds, I'm just going to pitch you something that you might be interested in.
yeah.
They'll be interested. And then you just go, look, like we help businesses add at least another 10K to their bottom line by outsourcing and delegating roles when, you know, the business is fully packed or whatever your offer is. I don't know the ins and outs of it.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Then you just say, is that something you'd be interested in? A free hour consultation where we walk through and see how we can help you. If we can't, no hard feelings.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And then just try and get them on a Zoom call, or if they're a local business, go in.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But anyway, bro, back to the point. What?
Yeah,
what
yeah,
want to book this call? Obviously,
it sounds like you got a
yeah,
sales
back,
problem.
yeah. So kind of like, well, I saw the ad like that you put out, so I was kind of like, I couldn't really like spell it out in terms of like, is it you have sales roles that you or like you like have sales roles that you would like put people into, where it's literally just like calling people up, trying to set appointments, trying to book people, or is it like you like kind of what is the? I was kind of curious about it because like 10K a month doesn't sound too bad, but like
Yeah.
just
about like how it works, like where it gets
Yeah.
implemented, stuff like that.
Well, easiest way to think about it is, you know, there's a lot of agencies out there, a lot of online businesses. The market is so saturated right now. Like always, it's always going to be. And there's businesses that are doing 7-8 figures a month already, selling marketing services, selling courses, selling coaching, selling consultancy, whatever it may be. That's your competition, right? They have sales reps that they hire that are literally the ones taking those calls, taking those Zoom meetings, all of the guys I work with are remote, taking those Zoom meetings, and they pay a percentage of, you know, the ticket price to the closers if they're able to close the deal.
Yeah,
So normally that's like 10%. So if you're selling a 10K consultancy offer and you're able to close that deal, you make 1,000 off that one sale. Does that
okay.
make more sense?
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
So you're essentially just going to be working for your competition or working for other online businesses. And obviously the benefit is like a lot of guys think, and I know this from having my own agency, you have to set up a whole agency, you have to set up a whole e-commerce store, a whole business to, you know, scale to 10K a month. No, you just literally need to get good at one skill. Sales is, I think, the best and, you know, the most profitable. Leverage that one skill to get hired in a position where your earning potential is uncapped, providing you know, you can actually sell and you've spent the time to learn that skill.
Yeah, no, that makes sense because like sales is, I mean, I enjoy sales, so it's like would be I'd definitely be game to like so what kind of so like what does it kind of entail then?
Yeah, well, so Club Closer, we teach guys sales, get them killer at sales, show them how to find and get their own jobs off the back of this, how to get hired, and then work with them to scale them up to 10K a month.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So you have like people who are ready to kind of go with jobs that they need positions for.
So it's twofold. Like there are a lot of opportunities. I've been in the space 4 years. I know a lot of guys that are always hiring.
Yeah.
But the one thing I focus on is like a lot of these, there's loads of businesses like mine, and a lot of what guys do is they guarantee placements. So they'll say, oh yeah, come work with us. We'll coach you. We'll teach you. We'll guarantee you a job. I don't really believe in that because I can't guarantee that, a job's going to be there and they're going to like you and you're going to be a good fit, or the business is actually going to be any good and you are going to make any money working for them, right?
Yeah, no, that's the because my brother's like two of my brother's mates are in sales, and one of them is literally like literally never does sales. He just has to run this company because it's so shit.
Yeah. See, that's why I never say like I won't guarantee you a job, but if you work with us for like 3 months, you'll at least land one job throughout your time. It won't necessarily be from me. It'd be from your own efforts and through obviously what we've taught you and you've applied it.
Yeah.
You'll go get a job. But like you're in the online space already, man. Like you know the ins and outs of it to some capacity, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just taking, I guess for you, it's just taking a step back and focusing on the sales side of it. Working for an already established agency. I work with a lot of guys because obviously, as I said, my background's agency. A lot of guys that have failed in the agency model or can't make it work, and they've taken a step back. They're now focusing on sales. They're now working in businesses where, they are making good money. The business is making sort of six figures a month, and they can see the inside of that business, how it works, how it operates. What are their cold calling scripts? What are their email sequences? How are they acquiring customers? What's their client delivery look like and all that? And then obviously you're still doing this, you're selling for them as well.
Yeah.
You get a look inside, and then you can take what you learned 6 months later and obviously apply it in your own business or do it at the same time.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So what was your goal with setting your business up?
Well, like I've always done, so I've had clothing brand and like home scent kind of brand in the past, which I'm kind of like slowly building back up. And it was more of a case of like my long term would be have a brand / business consultancy business where it's like, yeah, complete whole brand strategy, complete whole like business consultancy. Like you're at this point, let's get you to this point as fast as fucking possible. That's what I've kind of always like looked into, specialized in. And like company culture, stuff like that. I've worked with Olympic coaches, Olympians and stuff like that, and worked out like what a good culture is and what a shit culture is.
Your background's rowing, right?
Kayaking, but yeah, rowing, kayaking, same thing.
Kayaking, sorry, yeah.
Literally everything good water, so it's not that deep. But yeah, no, so background was that. Did that for 4 or 5 years and then got forced to move to Nottingham because of the organisation. And the organisation was just set up to fail. And I saw straight through it. And I sat there in meetings being like, you guys are fucking shit at your jobs. Like, you have athletes' lives on your hands and you're shit at your job. This is how you could fix it. And they were like, oh, yeah, maybe. I was like, it's now been 3 years of us only getting worse as an organisation. Like, why don't you fix it? Like, this is how you can. And they were like, yeah, we're trying. And they just didn't. So I just went, yeah, fuck you guys, I'm out. I ain't like.
So now you're obviously on your own, doing your own thing.
Yeah. So out of my own, doing my own thing. So yeah, ideally long-term goal, business consultancy, brand consultancy and stuff like that. And then the agency stuff was just like a good foundation in terms of understanding the deliverables of a service and like the marketing and kind of getting in with businesses on like a safer level until like, yeah, I've worked with all these businesses and saw all these faults and just consulted them for free because I was working with them anyway. And then, yeah, and then build up from there kind of thing.
Sure. Makes sense. Good that you got out of that business.
I think a lot of people.
I know a lot of my friends that are in 9-to-5 jobs and they fucking hate it and they just don't have the balls to leave. So fair play.
Yeah, no, I was like, I couldn't do it. Like I was working like warehouse job and retail for like when I stopped kayaking, and that was like 80 to 120 hour work weeks.
Savage.
And I was like, I made a lot of money doing it. And then I said to myself, I'll start on New Year in 2023 on zero. So I spent all my money on stupid shit. And then
fair enough.
I was just like, if I don't start at zero, I'm not going to push myself to do it. So I was just like, I might as well.
What was
But
the
it's-
stupidest thing you bought?
Stupidest thing, fucking hell. I think
So
I
off
just
the
spent a
tangent, I'm
lot.
just curious.
I spent a lot of money eating out. I think what was the stupidest thing? I mean, I booked quite a like mad New Year's, which was both most of it, and then bought a car that I wrote off, which was fun.
Fantastic.
But to be fair, I didn't write it off. Someone hit me, so I get a payout. But
Oh, fair enough.
yeah, whiplash.
So I guess clean slate 2023. What's like the goal for, let's say, like this year, next 6 month year? What's like finance goal? Where do you want to be?
Next 6 months, I want to be 10K a month, like minimum. Like I don't want to
Sure.
be like, yeah, come like 7th, 8th month of the year. I want it to be like a consistent. I know where I'm at, 10K a month, connecting with proper businesses, doing whether there's some work for free as like because it's business consultancy and I'm getting into it.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, building up like a base of marketing and stuff like that. So I kind of got a couple clients who, one mortgage broker starting soon. One clothing brand started. One, there's this candle company which is quite lit, but they're fucking about a bit at the moment. But yeah, I just need to get like a consistent base of some customers and then build up from there.
So what's the company making at the moment? If you don't mind me asking.
Literally would be 500 quid a month. Like,
Okay.
All right. Sweet. So that obviously that 10K a month, how do you want to go about building that up? Is that going to be through your own brand, or do you think high ticket closing is something you'd be interested in?
I think a high ticket closing would be something that I'd be interested in. I think it just depends on costs and stuff like that. Because obviously I'd want to do it and I'd be keen to do it, but I think it's just like working out, is it right for me now, or should I like do it as an extra a month or two down the line?
Yeah. Well, I think like an answer to that from obviously my perspective, I think it would be so like you are pretty much one of the perfect fits for this, right? Like you obviously want to grow your own business, want to grow your own
Yeah.
brand. You want to work in like the agency space to some capacity. And it's like, well, look, you can work in established businesses right now, sack the retail work, do this. You can scale to, 5, 10K a month within 3 to 6 months. And it obviously has allowed up loads of free time for you to obviously focus then on your own work. And the sales, what you're selling and what you're learning throughout learning sales and working for these businesses is so transferable into your own business.
Yeah.
So it should really help excel you there for sure.
Yeah, that makes sense. What is the success rate that you get with people, I guess, doing the service?
Yeah. So like full transparency, it's one of those things where we offer a coaching service. I'll tell you all the details about it in a sec, but essentially it really comes down to the individual. We give them all the tools, all the resources they need, all the support they need to have success. And it really depends on if they actually apply themselves.
Yeah.
If you applied yourself, anyone that's applied themselves for 90 days has had success. We haven't had anyone that's, really thrown themselves at it that hasn't. We've had guys that joined the program and literally I spoke to them once and then you can't get hold of them. I can't help those guys,
So do they get given, so like those kind of guys, they get given numbers to call and say, try to close these?
No, they get given the course. They get given the course. We do weekly coaching calls. We teach them everything. We obviously
Well, when they're in the actual business, is that kind of the structure?
Are you talking about guys that land jobs and have
Yeah,
success?
yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I misunderstood that.
No, that's all right.
No, so it's essentially like, how you booked this call today?
Yeah.
Similar setup. All the
Oh,
leads are inbound, warm.
Yeah.
Someone that's booking the appointments. We call them appointment setters. I'm not sure if you've heard that term before.
Yeah,
So appointment setters, ads, emails, whatever, will book calls in. And then, as a closer, you were literally just looking at your calendar for today and seeing, I've got 4 calls here with these 4 individuals. And yeah, you just take those calls and close them.
Oh, sound. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. And it's usually
Yeah,
just
you're
like,
not doing any of the BD, any of that. It's just you are literally just doing the sales side of it.
oh, okay, that makes sense.
You may need
Yeah.
to follow up with calls. If you have a lead that's warm, they give you I'll think about it. You might need to then send them messages to follow up with them.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's in your interest. But yeah, you were literally just focusing on the sales side.
Oh, sound. Yeah, that's not too bad then.
Yeah, so we had guys
Um,
join. We had a guy, Zaki. He's probably one of the best testimonials I can give. He joined, he had a failing agency. He was working with like plumbers and home refurbishment companies.
Home
uh,
improvement. Yeah,
yeah.
that's-
This is probably the right town. He's from New York, working a fishing job, and he was at university. He's trying to scale his agency. Couldn't quite make it work. Started talking to me. We had a conversation. He joined the program. After 17 days, he landed his first job. And on his 20th day, he took his first sales calls for that job. He closed 17.5K in sales for that company on his first day, made 1.7K commission.
Fair. So so he joined 17 days later, he got into a company.
Yeah, from obviously our coaching, all the support we gave him, 70 days in, he landed his first job. And then on his 20th day, he actually took his first call.
And are these jobs contracted, or is it like what's the situation usually?
You can, at the end of the day, like it is an internet company. You can leave kind of whenever you want.
Oh, it's okay. So it's not like it's some corporate or some like tech company.
No.
That you're trying to-
No. You literally, well, you might come across those, but for the most part, it's literally like, yeah, you're hired. Here's an NDA, sign this.
Yeah.
But then it would be like, give us 30 days notice period or whatever. But realistically, if you were to work for an American company and leave, they're not really going to chase you.
Yeah, that makes
No.
sense.
Obviously, the only thing is like, I would say is like, obviously keep good relations. You want to do that. You don't really want to burn any bridges. And obviously, if you're still waiting a payout from them of your commission you've made, probably don't sack them off and leave
Yeah.
on a day's notice and then expect them to pay you out.
No, that makes sense.
Um,
That sounds pretty sound. So what's the kicker?
yeah, well, look, do you want to just go ahead and tell you like full stack what it
Yeah,
is?
yeah. Do you want to go
What
full
the
stack?
closure
and then
is.
we kind of-
Yeah.
So there's three main parts to it. First is the course. Course focuses on two main things: how to get good at sales, so everything you need regarding like scripts, frameworks, the psychology, tonality, objection handling, mirroring, whatever you need. Teach you how to get good at sales. And the back end of the course teaches really how to find those jobs, where to find them, what to look for, how to vet the opportunities to make sure you know they are good companies, they do get results, they do have good lead flow, and obviously you can scale 10K a month in that opportunity. So that's the course. On top of that, you get weekly coaching with me. So once a week, we jump on a group call with all the guys I'm coaching. Essentially just a big Q&A, anything you're struggling with throughout the week, anything in the course you can't make sense of, you have a sales call and you don't know how to handle a certain objection, we can talk about it on the call. Super relaxed setting. It's all the guys jump in, help each other out. And that's once a week. And then you have a mindset coach that comes in every other week. Basically just make sure your mindset's top of mind. Pretty important in sales and in like entrepreneurship, I think. It's a lot of guys have the resources they need to have success, but they just don't have the discipline and the consistency.
Yeah.
So I want to make sure anyone that joins the program is really focused and has that. And then the last thing is the community. So working with around 50 guys right now. We have a private Discord, and it's essentially it's a space for you to network and speak to other guys that are in the space, all going through the same process. Some have businesses, agencies. Some guys doing Amazon. Some guys are still working 9-5s, and they're all obviously trying to escape and scale and hit their first 10K months. Some guys already hit their 10K months, and they're in there giving you feedback, basically just helping each other in whatever capacity you need.
Yeah.
And I guess the last thing to add to that is there's a job board in there. So whenever, obviously I said I don't guarantee you a job or place you directly, but there's a job board in there. Whenever I see a good opportunity come my way, I will share that in the group and be like, hey, here's a good opportunity. Go apply for this if you're still looking.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Or on top of that, there's guys that come to me directly, and I'll literally, if I see someone in the community that's like putting the hours or like is good at sales and hasn't got a job yet, I'll just be like, hey Ben, like, here's a job. Do you want it?
Yeah.
And then I'll tell them to go outreach to the guy.
Yeah.
So we had an opportunity like that with one of our this guy Zaki. He's moving offers, and there's this other guy Boyd I know. He does 6K a day for his coaching program, and he was looking for another closer. And I said, "Oh, Zaki's your guy," and just connected them. And I think he's got a second interview tomorrow.
When you say doing work, surely if they haven't got any sales, then how would it just be someone who's looking for a job still?
What do you mean doesn't have any sales?
So like if someone's in the Discord, but obviously they haven't got a job, they're not going to be doing much sales. So when you say
Yes. Oh, what is in that I can see they're good at sales. Yeah.
Oh
So
yeah.
basically,
kind
one
of
of the main things of sales is like it's like going to the gym, right? Like, or trying to get stronger. If you watch a load of YouTube videos, absorb a load of gym content, but never actually go into the gym and practice and like train, you're never going to get strong, right?
Yeah.
It's the nearest thing you can do to actually.
Getting good at sales without actually taking a live sales call is doing like practice sessions and role plays. And the guys are literally in the Discord every day, going through certain sales scenarios, going over certain sales situations, and just getting better that way.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. That makes sense.
So we have like leaderboards within the community, and it's like, okay, well, I can see that Nico, I think, for example, has done like 21 role plays already this month. So he's gone 20 through 21 practice sales calls. Obviously, it's only the 9th of the month. He's been smashing it.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
But yeah, that's everything, man. It's the course, the coaching, and the community.
Sound. How much? Yeah, how much is it then?
Yeah. So the kicker is it's
Yeah, straight up.
yeah, we offer payment plans so we can spread it and make it more affordable for you.
Yeah, I'm trying to think because there's like two sides to me. It's like one side that's like, yeah, jump into it now, and then like that would be like a fat risk on my part. Or the other side of it's like, yeah, like keep cracking at it for like a month or two, see where I get to, like doing the agency stuff, doing the consultancy stuff. And then if it's a case of like in 2 months after I've been running the agency stuff for like 3-4 months, I can then look back and be like, well, agency ain't going right, but sales on the issue. Like it's just like where I'm at, or like service delivery or some shit like that. And then it'd be like I think that's probably going to be a more realistic situation in my part. Like I like what it sounds like and I like everything about it. But the main issue is I'm doing an agency course at the moment. And they've got sales training in there as well.
So
What's
it's
the
like
agency course?
Jordan Platt and Swan.
Yeah, that was actually the first course I went through 4.5 years ago.
Oh, has he been running it?
I don't know. Who did you take a sales call for that?
With Connor.
With Connor. Okay.
Wait,
So-
who's
Funny enough,
is it?
Brandon.
I don't think he's in anymore.
Brandon is one of Jordan's sales reps.
Let me look at-
If you booked a call, Brandon is one of the guys that takes it. He was one of my students. He literally joined, and within a month, he started working for Jordan.
Brandon.
He
Brandon.
won't be.
Brandon Bacon, I think.
He's not on the school, but yeah, I don't know because
Yeah, Brandon Bacon.
He,
I had the guy called Connor who's like their like sales coach now. So
Yeah, Brandon was just one of their closers. He wouldn't have been a
Oh,
because he worked in insurance sales, and he started
Started working with me.
trying to get out his 9-to-5 job, and then he started working for Jordan in the evenings, doing the US calls or whatever. And yeah, he started making, I think, like 2K a week in his first month. Yeah, he's on 5K a month, I think, when I last spoke to him in December.
when did he start that? Like a few years ago.
No, Brandon literally, I started working with Brandon in November. And within a month, he started working for Jordan.
Oh, mad. That's quite mad.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's mad because we work with loads and loads of basically agency owners. So I went through Iman's program.
What's that actually?
And
Like?
Gatti.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, I think it's the same as all these agency courses. They do serve a purpose. But what a lot of guys fail at is they just don't have the skills. They don't focus on learning the skills. They'll try and do outreach. They'll do mass outreach. They'll then jump on a sales call, but they've never fucking sold anything in their life. And it's really hard to sell if you don't know how to sell, but also selling your own offer.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're selling someone else's offer and you've got stacks of testimonials, stacks of results, the conviction's there and it shows.
Yeah, it does make a difference because that's the other thing is like, because like half of me is like, obviously they're pushing to do numbers. And then half of me is like, well, yeah, but I've got like 4 potential clients over the line. One's fully over the line. Once I've got results to them, then I'll happily call people up being like, yo, let's just go through this. And there's this one fucking sales, whatever he's called, car dealership. He's fucking doing my head in because he's just like, oh yeah, I want to run. He's like dead keen about it. He wants to run the fucking thing full time. And that's his dream, like have and like quit his job. And he's like, oh yeah, but I don't know if I want to start ads. Yeah, it's gonna be too much time. I'm like, well, it's gonna be the same situation in 3 months when you call me back. Like, let's just do it now. And he's like, oh, my brother's going on holiday. I was like, well, fuck your brother. I know you're part of the business, but let's just do this properly.
Bro, people have excuses coming left, right, and center. We get it all the time with guys that like, well, literally, I mean, you just said it. Like, give it a few months. Let's.
Well, that's the
you get-
thing is
you
like,
literally get
I
someone
like
and then-
being completely honest, I would do it, but it's like I'm spending this money on Jordan Plattons and I just don't have the money to invest in it right now, which is like,
Yeah.
it's a bit of an annoying kicker because I've kind of got everything I need to out of Jordan's course now. And it's like, I'd like to cut it there, but I've spent the money now. So it's like, I might as well milk it for what it's worth and sell.
Yeah, like, and this is what I say to all the other guys that have bought. Like, we get loads of Iman students. A lot of the guys I work with have come through Iman's course, and it's like, yeah, that you bought that course, it's not going anywhere. You still have access to it. You still have access to that community. Like, you can leverage the hell out of that down the line once you've learned the skills. And also, there's a lot of guys in that group that are already making 7 figures of their agency. Why don't you just fucking ask them for a job as a closer? Like,
Yeah, true.
there's many ways to try and that community's still there. You can monetize it through different capacities.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's up to you. Like, if it's not financially affordable, I totally get that. But obviously, as I said, we can offer payment plans.
What is that's like, what is the payment plan? Because there's probably like some amount that I could justify.
So we could split it into 3 monthly payments, which is 3 months, pounds.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, because I'm honest, like, what's like being completely front up, what is like the failure rate of like, have you had many people who come in and don't get a job for like months on end?
No, they either like start losing faith and don't apply themselves.
Yeah.
And if they do, they always get a job. Like, if you were to join, I even send you the Zoom recording. If you join and you didn't have a job within 2 months, I will start working with you every single day trying to get you hired.
Yeah.
And we also offer a guarantee where it's like, if you commit to the program for 90 days, you put in the work, we can see you're, doing your outreach, doing your like applying for jobs, doing the sales training for at least, 2 hours a day. And if you work your ass off for those 90 days and you don't at least make your initial investment back, I'll work with you one-on-one until you're happy, or I'll just give you a full refund.
Wait, so explain that one again. Sorry, I kind of.
Yeah. So within 90 days, we said like 3 months, right? 3 months.
Yeah.
If you apply yourself to this, and if you don't get hired and in a job where your earning potential could be 10K up, and you haven't made at least your initial investment back within those 90 days, I will give you a full refund.
Okay.
The caveat to that is you do need to put in the work. You can't just join the program, sit in your ass for 3 months and then ask for a refund.
Yeah, imagine.
And it's very clear, like, if you are doing the work, but like, I know, like, obviously hard work's not, not a stranger to you, but the sounds of it, you're working your ass off doing those factory jobs and retail jobs.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Yeah, I'm literally. One sec, let me crunch some numbers. So
What was
13
Jordan Platten's course?
How
USD,
much?
bro.
US dollars. So what's that like?
UK?
I tell you what, I'm gonna be completely honest. As soon as the clothing brand that I'm working with, she's literally her fucking her website guy, I think, absolutely shafted her. There's 3 Facebook pixels on her website and she doesn't know a single one what they are. And website guy doesn't know what they are either. So I think he's hemorrhaging data off her website or some shit like that. or like stealing email list, or I don't know what.
Yeah.
Did, but it seems fishy. So she's sending the payment over end of next week for the first like month, and then there's one more that I should be having come through, and then as soon as that is, and that's me, then I can cover off the next couple backlogs, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
So then I can justify, because it's like at the moment I budgeted for however long rent, all that shit, and so complete I do want to start, and it's like I don't want to not like just jump into it and like get the ball rolling and start making more money, but I've got to make some more money before I can jump in, because like obviously I understand your position. Ideally you'd want to close it today and jump
Well,
up.
this isn't a sales tactic. We do only have a few spaces left for the rest of the month.
Yeah, and
Genuinely,
I
we
mean,
only
to
have
be
a few
fair,
slots
if I miss those spaces, I've missed those spaces. Like that's on my back. Like I should have got stuff in place. So yeah, so that's me being completely honest. If I come back in like it'd be 2 weeks, and you're like, we haven't got any spaces left this month, that's my fault.
Sure.
Lesson learned. If not, and there is, yeah, I'll be dead keen to jump on.
So what's the thing holding you back right now? Is it just the finances?
Literally finances, yeah.
Because I think you'd be a great fit for this, and I want to work with you because I know if you were to come in, I could leverage the hell out of you to get a good testimonial for it. Would you consider joining today if I was able to split that payment into 4 monthly payments?
So that would be, what would that be?
I think it works out like it's USD and 1 payment on the end.
So one second, let me just USD to
Version I've got. That's what Google was telling me.
If I
I
go
guess-
head over, honestly speaking, if I go head over here, like I know, like if I go head over heels into this, like flat out as hard as I can, realistically, like I want like a under ball offer, like a worst case scenario. If I'm like really flat out on this, how quickly do you reckon I could get to making $2,000 like $2,000 like a month?
Yeah. So obviously the example would be like Zaki. Zaki made 1.75K within his first 20 days. But like, I would say he's the exception. He threw himself at it. Like he was relentless for those 20 days.
Yeah.
You can see his testimonial on my Facebook or on the Club Closer Instagram as well. Like he threw himself at it. There are guys that you can make money within the first month. I'll never say to anyone like, oh yeah, within the first month, you'll make the money back.
No.
Because the first month really is learning and it's like applying what you learn in those sales skills. Month 2, I think easily you can make 2K. If you spend the first month learning sales, get comfortable with the sales script, get comfortable with like how to frame it, the frameworks, everything you need. Month 2, start applying for jobs. And then, or back of month 1, start applying for jobs.
Yeah. How come Zaki applying for jobs after like
Zaki applied for jobs day 1. You can apply for jobs day 1, but if you're confident in your sales ability already and you think you want to put yourself under a bit of pressure, start applying for jobs as soon as you jump in, and then do the practice whilst applying for jobs. It really depends. Like if you
and you give us and like wait, what's the situation with the applying for jobs? Are you putting like job ideas out there? Or
I'll show you like 5 different ways you can find job opportunities.
Okay, what like LinkedIn?
Not LinkedIn. LinkedIn is like one of them, but like you won't like that's where all the corporate sort of stuff is, right?
So there's a lot.
Facebook groups, there's ways to like leverage Instagram. There's a lot of ways to leverage a lot of different places.
Okay, and what's like how quickly do most people end up in a job from when they start hunting? If that makes sense.
Under a month.
Trying to, realistically,
Under a month.
Pardon?
Under a month.
Under a month.
So we had last month we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 guys find offers, start working jobs.
13 guys found jobs or started?
Started jobs.
Got
Okay.
hired.
And how many from the month was that? in terms of people who joined?
Within the first month. Leon joined. So Matthias,
Oh, no, in terms
probably
of like
for-
how many people joined that month, if that makes sense.
15 guys joined, but not 13 out of the 15 that joined that month.
Oh,
Oh,
word.
Do you know what I mean? Like some of them would have been from the month before.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
So Cody was 2 months in, Leon was 6 days in, Sam was about 2 months, Lenny was about 2 months, Sean was about a month, Joel was about a month, Alexander 2, Jonas 2, Josh 3, but he changed offers. Ollie was about 2, Ewan 1, Davis 1.5. So it's
Yeah.
the average is around a month, but that's not a
Well,
month.
the thing is, like,
that's like
to do
you've
it-
been a month.
Yeah, because to justify it, I'd literally just have to be, I'd have to make the money back within I'd have to make the first payment back within a month.
But you've said you've got that woman, right?
Yeah.
That is
Which
obviously
like-
making-
Payment to you.
Yeah, so that's, but the issue with hers is first payment is lower, and then it's the end of the month payment, which is the higher payment, which is why it's like push it back, makes life easier. It's tempting.
What's holding you back right now?
Literally like that first month of like if I knew within a month I can have a job and start closing, I'd say yes. Like I'll like Jordan, Jordan Platten's course, it's got like 8 weeks of training videos.
It's probably changed a
Oh,
lot.
since I
yeah,
joined
it might have
years
changed.
ago,
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's got
Yeah.
like eight weeks of training videos, and most people take like 12 weeks to go through it, or 8 weeks to go through it. I did the whole thing in like a week.
bro, you could go through the whole of my course in like a day if you wanted to.
And what do most people do that to?
Yeah, people take like a couple of weeks to go through it. Bro, if you really want it, just fucking throw yourself at it for the month.
Yeah. I like, this is the thing, I'm on the fence, and I feel bad because like you're sat there and I'm debating it in my head and trying to work
Nah,
out
but I think it's good. Like, obviously, I don't want you to make a wrong decision, but I know, you're basically the ideal audience for this, right?
Yeah.
You're the target demographic who I go for because I know guys like you I can help. Because you have the understanding about the online space, you have
The only bit that I'm like, the only bit that like the sales, that side of things, like learning that's not my issue. It's the finding the job bit. It's like the biggest fear of mine, because it's like that's the biggest kink in the
Yeah.
kind of, that's the biggest bottleneck in terms of my path to getting there, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay. So how about we do this? If you can sign up today, I'll link you with Matthias, who's one of my best students. He made 15K last month in his fourth month after working with me. He's like the outreach king, the boss of finding a job. Like, he thinks it's the easiest thing in the world. And a lot of guys don't understand that. But if you're willing to put in the work, he will help you find that job. I'll help you find that job. After month one, if you've, I can see you've done a lot of outreach, a lot of job, like we call outreach as like just applying for jobs, right? If you do a lot of that and I see you're not getting anywhere with it, I'll jump on calls with you. I'll look for job opportunities for you and help you make sure you land one.
Yeah.
Obviously, I can't guarantee it because it really depends on if the person's going to like you as an individual and think you've got the skills to actually do the job. I don't think that's going to be a problem.
As long as you apply yourself.
No, that's sound. Yeah, sound. Yeah. Is it Stripe, and do you have American Express?